Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and now on Connect TV. Believe, Connect, change the world on Apple TV and Roku. Good morning, La La Land.
That's right. Today's all about Friday feeling, which is dating, love, and relationships. So we're going to talk to a dating coach about fitness, fashion, and finding love, and we're going to talk to a doctor about Time's Up, how men can embrace with compassion the movement, and also we're going to talk all things chocolate.
Fun Friday.
Sign me up.
I feel like it should be like Friday. This is beyond Friday. This is Friday. Praise emoji, people.
Definitely.
Because have you seen how I'm starting my day? That's right.
Incredible.
Top this, everybody. Top this.
Check these out. These have gummy worms and Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Wow. Way to start the day.
That has
you
my
know?
little niece's names written all over it.
Certified
Gummy
fair
worms.
trade, dark chocolate, completely customizable. This is going to meet my every craving. I think I have a new best friend. I'd love to introduce you to her. Good morning to our very special guest back there. Hello, the creator of Top This Chocolates. Shayna's in the house. Katie Clark. She is my go-to girl for balance of strength and femininity. And of course, Dr. Ray. Hello, how are you all today?
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
He's on point with the brand. Got some orange going on for La La Land. We love it.
I saw this pillow. I changed his shirt just when I saw this pillow.
We're so excited that you're all here today on Friday. And we'd like to know, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine like? Katie, let's start with you.
Shot of espresso in my little Nespresso cup, and if my kids are being good, they'll make it for me.
And you have how many children?
I have 3. I have 2 in high school, 1 in junior high.
Wow.
Busy mama.
Yeah,
You're
they're
old
my
enough
best,
to have kids
best
that old.
accomplishment, right?
Yes, right? Shayna, how do you start your day?
Definitely with a cup of coffee first thing, and then I write in my journal. I get all my thoughts out and clear my mind, so I'm ready to jump into my day.
So does it start with cereal on your chocolate bar like I've got right here? I mean, hello, Fruit Loops. Did you come up with this one?
I sure did, yes.
I would like to add a little bit of Special K. That dark
Yeah, make it healthy.
No
Maybe-
problem. We can
Okay,
do
we're
that.
going to work on this. Right, how do you start your day?
I start off by 5 a.m. to get up before my son gets up, and I do my meditation, tuning in, and then I wake up with him and lie next to him and cuddle with him, and sometimes we'll watch Barney or Thomas and Trains or Word Party or something like that.
How old is your son?
He'll be 4 in July.
Wow.
Barney's still around. I mean, my son's 22, and he was watching Barney. Wow, Barney, you go, you go.
Barney is timeless.
Barney
He's
is
timeless,
seriously-
yeah.
So timeless.
Ageless.
I remember when I was like 4, it was my goal to be one of those kids on Barney.
Oh, really?
It never happened, and that's okay because I'm here right now and I have Fruit Loops in my chocolate. So things worked in my favor.
Yeah, I would say.
Right?
Yeah,
and
concept.
after the 5th repeat episode on a Saturday morning, it's like whoever invented Barney should be shot. I love Barney, but you know, if you listen to that too much, you get a little cuckoo as a parent.
Well, yeah, and then Katie will help us balance that all, right? That's right. Make us our best selves so we can find love. Oh, I can't wait to talk to you all more later in the show. Thank you again for being here.
Awesome.
So excited. So a big weekend. I got to say, I am going to Kundalini tomorrow because it is the 1,000th day in a row. So if we feel like we're committed and we feel like we got to show up a lot, think about it, 1,000 days in a row without a break, up at 9 Treasures Yoga with Tej, who is a master Kundalini teacher, and they're doing it for 1,000 times. So every day when you go there, they start at 9 a.m. and they start actually at 8:45. They do an 11-minute meditation that is a prosperity meditation, and you sit with your hands like this and you chant, and basically 1,000 days. So it's the saying is this: it takes 40 days to change a habit, 90 days to confirm a habit, 120 days to embody a habit, and 1,000 days to master a habit. So think about it. What do you want to do for 1,000 days, and you'll probably master it.
Man, that invites me to revisit what habits I actually want to change.
Right?
Because if I went into it knowing that I'm going to have to spend 1,000 days before it starts to become like
Mastery.
effortless, I might not change as many habits as I.
You might learn to accept yourself the way you
Yeah, I'm
are.
like, you know what? It's fine. Self-acceptance.
I'm committed to being not committed, and then you don't have to do anything.
Totally.
You can do that.
Wow, that's amazing. So you committed to the 1,000 days?
I did not do 1,000 days. In fact, I used to go every morning at 9 a.m. And then when we committed to this show, it was at 9 a.m. So I was like, well, I guess that's not going to work out.
Yeah. Well, we love your commitment.
Yeah.
Erin.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The universe is always testing you. What are you committed to? It's like this game of what's she committed to?
It is. It is. I feel this weekend very committed to sleep. Oh, at some point, want to catch up on the rest? Yeah. How about you, Jess?
This weekend, I'm very committed to having fun. I'm sure you're all surprised, right? My FOMO is kicking up real hard. I've got a girlfriend in from London, and so it's the perfect excuse for me to have a staycation in LA. So we're going to be celebrating Cinco de Mayo down at the new Nomad Hotel. I'm really excited. Special shout out to Leo, who's in from New York to help set up that bar program down there, and Dave, who's running it. So we're going to be having some margaritas by the pool all day.
Nice.
So where's that? Nomad?
Nomad, yeah, it's downtown. Obviously, it's the sister property to Nomad in New York City, which was a sister property to EMP, 11th Madison Park, which is the top restaurant in the world. So if you love food, if you love wine and a good time, you might see me down there.
Nice.
That's nice. You have to report back. Let us know how it was.
Oh, it's going to be good. I'm just going to let you know right now. It's going to be good. I'm going to soak up the sun and celebrate Cinco de Mayo and my not Mexican heritage. There we go.
Right? So we are talking dating, love, and relationships. And at this appropriate time in history, we're also going to talk about Me Too movement. And one thing I wanted to talk before we get into that deeper conversation in a back interview, Bill Cosby was, obviously got, it got confirmed, a lot of the stuff went on, and it was hailed as a Me Too victory, according to NBC, but they also say, the advocates say that it needs to be more done. And it was just so fascinating because I didn't know this about the Me Too movement. It was started in 2006 by Tarana Burke, and it is said that over 17.7 million women since 1998 have basically reported sexual assault.
Those are the reported ones.
That's reported.
Yeah,
just
that's
reported.
That's just
Wow.
reported. I'm like, I was blown away. I mean, and we all know that there's so many people that have been raped or assaulted and never reported, so I can't even imagine what the numbers are.
And it's truly shocking because that number, the 17.7 million, is actually just for American women who have reported.
Wow.
That's not globally. And it's an incredible time to be able to have a voice, to have a platform, to continue this conversation for men and for women, because we need to really figure out how to change this. I don't even know where to begin, so it's good that we have Dr. Ray here and we can talk about that.
Just a conversation is definitely the most important thing for everyone to have a voice in it, for sure. So excited to, and honored to have the conversation, right?
Absolutely.
So let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, what are we talking about?
Talking
Friday
about
feelings.
basically how to get through anger issues,
Right?
relationship problems,
A big one for all of us.
Yeah.
How do you deal with upsets and arguments? How to stop them? So we're going to talk about a great article, give you some tips on that, and I'm excited for it.
I am too.
And I'm going to be eating chocolate. We'll see you when we come back. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm Jasmine Moya, co-host of Good Morning La La Land with our associate producer, Ms. Victoria Simone.
Hey girl, so where are we right now?
We are on the red carpet of the 45th annual Daytime Emmys, and this red carpet is hot.
So we're actually going to be reporting to you live on the red carpet this week in La La Land. Jez, who was on This Week in La La Land.
We had an awesome time with Mike from Oysters XO.
XO.
Dow Wines, the official wine sponsor of the Daytime Emmys.
Yes.
Cheers to that. We also had Casa Herradura and Tequila Master Kevin. He made us the official golden margarita.
24 karat magic in the air, that's what I'm saying.
It was all luxury, and we celebrated the launch of the lifestyle magazine Amari with the creator George Roja and Zulay Hanel. It was a great week in La La Land.
Jez, actually, who are we wearing right now?
Special shout out to Ms. Steph Adino. She gowned and glammed us out for the gala for the creatives, and today coming to you from the red carpet at the Daytime Emmys.
Thanks for tuning into This Week in La La Land.
Sanchez. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We're celebrating hashtag Friday Feels today. It's Friday. We've got a slew of very special guests. Welcome to the show. Dr. Ray, Katie Clark, Shayna with Top This Chocolate. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. So, okay, I have one question for you. What is the one thing you do to really keep peace in your life? Dr. Ray, let's start with you.
By my connecting to my breath, including when I was rushing here to get here, if I just connect to my breath like that, I'm here rather than where I need to be, and that's the best way to tune into myself, and I think for everyone else too. It's just
Such
self-awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that.
Love that. Katie, what about you?
I love to exercise. I love to move my body and get out of my mind for a little bit. And it's always so beneficial, so it's always been a double positive, I guess.
How do you balance that with all that you're doing? 3 kids, you've got your blog, you're a dating coach. How do you make time for yourself?
You know, I feel like it's a time to make time for me. So I've really taught my kids, even in this process, that mom needs it, and mom's a better mom when she has it. And so in that thought process, I've realized that applies to everything. I'm a better woman when I exercise and get my extra energy out. And I'm healthier, I look better, I feel better, I'm more confident. I mean, nobody ever said, I hate looking good in my skinny jeans. So I love it. I like putting those puppies on and owning it. So it's like a double positive. Why wouldn't I work out?
Right? Oh, Shayna, what do you do to keep peace?
I panic all the time. Start doing what they said.
Eat my chocolates and just let it go.
No, I do too. So what's the one thing that brings you back? I mean, is it baking? Is it creating something new in the kitchen?
Yes, actually, I love baking. I work with chocolate so much that when I can make cupcakes or a bread pudding, it actually does relax me very much. It's rare that I have a chance to. And also, I do meditate. If I really need to bring it down, I'll just sit down and take 10 minutes and meditate.
I feel like turning on that KitchenAid mixer and just watching it can be a very meditative experience.
Some butter and sugar.
Exactly, and then you reward yourself by dipping your finger in there and just enjoying it.
Hopefully not while it's on.
Clearly, I'm an expert at baking, obviously. Oh, well, thank you again for being here. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show. You know, I will say I've got to get better about finding a way to have peace besides treating myself, because I'm guilty. I'll treat myself with like chocolate. I'll treat myself with a good margarita, Casa Herradura style. And I need to be able to find peace outside of those things.
Yeah, it's tough, Jasmine. Honestly, I think that's always a great place to start. And yeah, you're right. Like ideally, it's nice to be able to just connect with your breath because it's something that's always 24/7 accessible. But you know, there's nothing wrong with a good glass of wine or some chocolate.
My acupuncturist always says, he's like, "Are you breathing?" And I was like, "Oh wait, oh yeah." Because I know your body, you breathe. Obviously, you don't even have to think about breathing. But I get so stuck in my head that I actually stop breathing.
Well, it's true actually. When you think about it, it's like how many conscious or joyful breaths have I taken intentionally over the course of my entire life? And it's crazy. Like until I actually started meditating, I probably took 3. By the right?
I'm gonna take a conscious breath
right now. You do that.
Chocolate.
That's your meditation. Or now it's just chocolate.
Just chocolate.
That's up. So speaking of peace, you know, today's Friday Feeling, and we have, you know, some kind of wisdom every day. So we pulled an article from WebMD. It's so funny online now. It's like WebMD has how to fight fairly and keep the peace in your relationship. Which actually was a great little article on some tips, 7 different ways of diffusing arguments. You know, so we've all been there, and I know for me, I mean, I'm a self-admitted codependent for my entire life. I was a disaster in relationship years back with arguments, and I'd be like, my whole world would fall apart with an argument, or if my relationship was good, I'd be great, you know, so it's totally codependent. Put it as my higher power, if you will. So I used to be one of those people that I'd get so upset, and it would just be like, you know, it just was like self-abuse, really, because when you get that upset, you have that many emotions going in your body. That's not healthy. It's not self-love, right?
It's all-consuming.
It's so consuming. So how do we do that? How do we diffuse arguments? I think the number one human vicious cycle is making someone else wrong. We know that this is going to set so many things in motion. So if you want to have peace, the number one thing is to not make someone else wrong. But according to this article, there's got so many things. And I love the first one. It says, it's totally counterintuitive what you've always heard. They say, go to bed angry. So instead of like everyone goes, no, never go to bed angry. It's like, forget it, then you're gonna be up till 5 o'clock in the morning fighting. Like, go to bed angry, right?
Yeah, it's such a good point. I think part of the reason they say go to bed angry, at least from my understanding, is that when you're trying to have an important conversation or discussion, when you're really upset, you're really just tossing fuel on the fire. And
Totally.
so the question I ask myself is, like, is this working? If it's not working, I should probably take a break,
Right.
step back, you know, and revisit it in the morning.
No, completely. I am a person who's like, I need some air from this. I need to go on a walk. I need to go to sleep, because if I get sleep or I get some space just to clear my head and my thoughts, then I'm able to actually articulate and communicate better, because otherwise it's right. It's like just fueling that, right? It's
You're like, this is going nowhere really fast.
Yeah.
This is not going to go good well at all. So it does say take a break. They also say own up to your part of the fight, and I think that is so important. And I don't think that necessarily in that heated moment it's a good time to own up to it. Take a break and then own up to your part. And as soon as we begin to do that, then the other person, it releases the chains of making everyone wrong. And they're like, yeah, I was a little bit, I was a little harsh in what I said there also.
Absolutely, it's such a great advice. And the key there is not to add but
Totally.
to what you say before,
good tip, good
right?
tip.
oh my God, how many times have I heard that? I'm sorry, but you're
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I'm
Right,
100% responsible, but
You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not sorry, and I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
just skip that,
yeah,
right?
you just don't want to go there.
I love this one here, and I don't know if I'm so good at it, but I do think that it's perfect, is to find the humor. Like, what a great way to dissolve. What's the word? Dissolve it.
Yeah.
It's basically like find a joke. I don't know.
Yeah,
Lighten up.
it's true. John Gottman's an expert in sort of like marriage and relationship issues, and he calls it sort of bids. So every now and then you'll notice that when you're having a discussion, particularly heated discussion or argument, one or both of you will make these little bids. It's basically an opportunity to like meet halfway, sort of like an offering,
Oh,
a very
yeah.
small offering, truce offering, and humor is one way to do that. The challenge is really in the opportunities for the other person to accept your bid.
Oh yeah.
And that's always really tough. In the heat of
Right.
the moment, even though the person's being funny, you may not see it that way or feel that way
no,
at all.
that just makes me madder.
Yeah, I feel like it's a dig.
You think you're funny right now?
Yeah.
This is not funny.
There's nothing funny about this.
No, but
Right.
one of the other tips I found really interesting was shut up and touch. And physical touch can be so healing. Sometimes it's better just to touch your partner, and rather than even talk about it and just embrace, to let that go and clear your space in that. But it's really tricky if you're a person like myself who does need that, who needs to feel connected physically, and your partner doesn't want that. I've been in arguments with people before, and I'm like, can we hug this out?
Yeah.
They're like, no. Well, there's nothing more rejecting than saying, I need to be physically touched right now.
And that's such a great point, Jessalyn. The great thing about hugging and not talking is, first of all, you're not throwing fuel in the fire. And the second thing is that, hugging is a catalyst for the release of oxytocin, which is the trust hormone. And so you actually, by hugging, can increase the opportunity for both of you to meet somewhere in the middle. It just makes for an easier resolution.
I think the breathing thing too. Holding hands, breathing, taking a moment, and
Totally.
definitely prayer for sure. Not on the MG, they didn't address that one, but for sure. And then remember what's important. And I do think that's the biggest thing. Like, pick your frickin' battles. I say that for parents, for anything, for myself. I'm like, what do I really care about? Because this is just like, let it go, let the universe handle this one, and like, pick your battles. What's really important for
Yeah,
sure.
totally. Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk, always says, when you hug someone, particularly after an argument or something like that, remember that 100 years from now, brand new people, right?
Brand
So if you
new
remember that, it's like everything here on earth, including each other, is just temporary. That really helps me to stay focused on the important things.
Right? Or just slap them. One or the other.
Yeah, that works too.
And temporary, and it's a lesson, right? We had this really interesting conversation yesterday with Sloan Bella, who's a meta psychic,
She's a psychic,
a medium.
medium,
Mhm.
she's
clairvoyant, incredible woman, absolutely incredible. What I found very interesting and I truly admired about her is that even though she has such incredible intuition, she's like, look, I'm still not perfect. I'm not always going to get it right because I have a lesson to learn. And that's really important, because whether it might be like a temporary moment or an argument, there is a lesson for both of you to learn in that, especially when it comes to forgiveness, even if it's not forgiving the other person, but forgiving yourself. She really spoke to me like very deeply in that regard.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, I love that. And it sort of reminds me, like I know Eckhart Tolle is big on saying, look, relationships aren't designed to make you happy. You should be happy already. You go into a relationship in order to get your happiness sort of enhanced maybe, but really relationships are fertile ground for training you peace and unconditional happiness. So it's about learning to be happy despite the other person maybe not agreeing with you.
Totally. And you know what else I thought was really interesting when Sloan Bella said, you know what, you're going to keep attracting the same type of relationship or even the same relationship over and over again until you've learned your lesson. And that relationship, maybe it's meant to be, but it won't evolve until those lessons are learned.
Absolutely,
Right?
Justin.
So
What?
funny when you're in the middle of an argument, you're like, oh, I know what I haven't learned yet.
Totally.
Thank you, universe. Okay,
Clearly.
good. So on that note, let's get to the back and talk to some experts around all these things: dating, love, relationship, upset, me too. We're gonna hit it hard today on Friday Feels, you know what I'm saying? So
And have some chocolate Friday.
and have some chocolate for sure. So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paprath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jezza Moye.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks for
having
having me on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean,
Thank
we
you for
have
having me.
roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you.
Aw.
I so appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Jenna Barnett with Millennial Mom on Focus TV. And today I have Jennifer Yen here today to chat with me about all things mom related. So you actually started your career as an actress and you were on the very famous TV series Power Rangers, right?
Yes, I used to fight them as my first career.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay Edwina Chia. Ladies and genticles, Tiffany Angulo. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. You know, you're my Beige Bay of the week, not only because of your nationality, but because you just seem like the girl who does it all.
Hi everybody, I'm Allie Landry and welcome to Reshape TV. I have created an online platform, reshapelive.com and Reshape TV, to provide a place where women can learn from the very best resources for those of us who are striving to reshape our lives and live an optimal, healthy lifestyle.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl, and I'm here with Liz Hernandez, former TV host at Access Hollywood and now the founder of Wordiful. So excited to hear more about that. Liz, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi Gwen, thanks for having me.
Hi everyone, it's Michelle Gillette, life coach and host of the Spotlight series on Focus TV. And joining us today is our dear friend, Shalini Videra.
And thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm so happy to be here.
You're the perfect person to be here because we love anything that is, women helping other women, women empowering other women.
Hi, I'm Janica. I'm here with Focus TV for my segment of Fearless Females. And today I interview Doriana Richmond. You're gonna love listening to Doriana. Not only is she beautiful, but she's so heartfelt and she has created this amazing jewelry line called Stone Symbol.
Hi. Oh, thank you for that introduction.
Yeah,
Wow.
of course. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, and welcome to Everyday Game Changers, the show that features people giving back to their community. I'm your host, Annalise Getz, and today we are joined by Rolanda Watt. Rolanda is a stand-up comedian, she's an actress, she's a television personality, and she is a philanthropist, which is why she's here today. So thank you for joining us, Rolanda.
Thank you for having me. A joy to be here.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here. Welcome back live to Good Morning LaLaLand. We are so honored to have Dr. Ray in the house. He is a doctorate in clinical psychology. You specialize basically in relationship counseling, relationship intimacy, sexuality, you name it. You have trained in hypnotherapy, gestalt therapy, guided mastery, EMDR, NLP, you name it. Like, you definitely are a master.
Yes, it was
more than 1,000 days,
It was
right?
a path of feeling like I was not enough, so I just kind of kept adding to myself. You know what I'm talking about.
I hear ya.
So at the end of the day, now I created a hybrid version of that, and that's really now knowing myself, and then that is what works, and I'm just a conduit to it all.
Tell us a little bit about that journey. I read your bio and you said reading Louise Hay's really changed your life. What was that crossroads for you?
Well, that's a fun one because it was like 1993 and I was a stripper on the road.
Awesome.
And love that story. And I happened to meet a friend or a woman there who was talking this talk, and I was going through challenges as a younger man, and she bought me that book. And then that's what kind of shifted everything, and it kind of unfolded. But also in that process, like a lot of typical men, it's like, I want more of this. I was more action-based, feeling it in my body. So I do tell people this, and that is that if I would have really took in that book, integrated it, it probably would have been the only book I needed.
Oh, I love that.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's recycled material out there. A lot of it is.
So what's fascinating about this to me is that we connected via online. We have friends in common. You were in the mailroom with Corey, and you've been on Dr. Drew, and da-da-da. But we talking about Me Too movement, which is so funny because if you were a stripper, basically, right, you were objectified by women a lot, right? So this is going to be an interesting conversation.
Especially in I think Reno, when they put some gold coins in my thing there because it's kind of cold.
You're fun. But so I want to take a moment because you sent me a really important thing, because this is a serious conversation, Me Too, right? And it is an honor to have the conversation. And all people, have a different perspective and a different experience of the Me Too movement, knowing that this is a time to honor women out there. And we came on to really talk about this. I wanted to read this because you sent me this. It was something he did not write himself, but that was kind of the inspiration for this conversation. And it reads, "The rules have changed for men, and it is women speaking up for themselves, telling their stories that have changed the rules. All over the world, women are coming forward in their stories of abuse and worse, asking men to listen. It is a turning point in history. Many men find this movement difficult. There's anger in the air, and often just so. There is a lot of shame being thrown around. Men find themselves feeling as if they need to tiptoe around conversations with women. Online forums seem more like angry mobs and pitchforks and torches, but the real moment is real and important, and it's time for men to step up. Yes, many of the old ways of being a man are dying, and that's not totally a bad thing, especially as women step into their greater courage and power. Weak men tremble at the changes happening today. Strong men welcome this movement, and as amazing opportunity to grow." So tell me about this. What inspired you?
Well, I specialize in working with relationships, and I've worked with a lot of women and probably have walked the path of 500 women who've been raped. So I've been there with them to understand the depth of that, including stuff that would happen from anywhere. What most men don't understand is that this woman maybe would share with her father, and her father would say, what do you expect? Look how you're dressed. To go and to see a police officer and them saying, what do you want us to do about it? It happens all the time. So women have constantly been dismissed, and I understand this. And most men don't realize what it's like to be a woman, nor do I. Because through working with women, I understand their story and have to work through them, through the trauma. So this is a movement away for women feeling safer. Whereas, yes, there are some women kind of coming more from that place of, say, victimization, and it appears to be as if they're bashing. But the fact is, it's the first time they feel safe to speak up. And so if it's coming out in the form of anger, so be it. Because at the end of the day, it is going to come to healing. That's what this is about. And then also what a lot of men don't understand, it's not about, like, maybe you don't know women like this, but the reality is that you really got to get on board because it's part of the collective consciousness. And what I mean by that is that all women have had this experience just by how the way they look, the way they don't get the job, and so forth. They have been basically dismissed in so many different ways. They're not trying to get up there to be better. They're trying to create some type of equality so we can work together. And even men have a story behind that. A lot of the men who are speaking up, who feel angry, who they feel like they're the breadwinner, they've been working so hard, they have been suppressing their femininity. I mean, so we have been imbalanced. It never worked in the 1950s, it didn't work in the 1900s. It has really never worked. So we're in a beautiful time right now to really co-create something really beautiful.
Well, it's interesting though, because I can't say honestly that this is really working. It's created a safe space for women to come up and speak, but it's also created a lot of shame around men, a lot of anger for men who are getting totally misrepresented. Their intentions are being ruined, their reputation's being ruined by women sometimes who aren't speaking the truth about them. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, there's another way to look at that too, and that is this. So men have been able to be lazy for a very long time. And so what I mean by that is they haven't really needed to exercise their emotions. You know, it could be just shut that hole up, you know, or withdrawing and stuff like that. So while there are some men maybe where they're being blamed for something, it's also cultivating the conversation for other men to speak up. In any type of movement like this is that while there are some people who might be innocent and are not, you should not be pointing a finger at them, it's creating a bigger movement. Like, I am a man and I'm not feeling that experience, whereas there's some men who are. The thing is this, is that if you really are in tune with who you are, you don't feel like the women are speaking at you. They're speaking from themselves. So just like if you're in a relationship with a man, you start sharing your feelings. This is how I feel. Like, well, that's not what I did. And they start dismissing you by telling you how it was, including what Tony Robbins did, where the woman's sharing her feelings and he started telling her what he thought, not listen to what she feels. So while these men are being reactionary, what they're also demonstrating what women have been bothered by all along, whether it's in an intimate relationship or this revolution. It just holds space for them to get to that place.
So you're saying that you don't want to speak for the women of the Me Too. You're trying to help and move the men to help kind of further the conversation from the men's side, just helping them understand, helping them have a voice themselves throughout this. Is that what is your true intention?
My true intentions is for both to be able to embrace who they really are, both men and women, because it hasn't worked. So for example, you can't really tie the Me Too movement just with sexual harassment. It has to do with everything.
Of course.
Being, discriminated against, okay? And in that also, as you notice, that a lot of women have moved more into their masculine, they're working, and it's this survival energy. So they're not happy either. They're burning out their adrenals, they're stressed out, and then you have a lot of men who've moved into their feminine, where they're lazy, they're allowing women to take care of them, and so forth. So while this movement is about, like, say, sexual harassment, also, it's about how we operate in our body as being women and men and how we could work together, because a lot of it has been tied into gender roles. And the reality is that women can do everything.
Yeah, but wait just a second, because I'm hearing my voice of my girlfriends that are watching, they're very, very feminist advocate, are going, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, because we're talking about two different things here. We're talking about equality and really the rising of the community, and then Me Too is really I think that, and I'm totally neutral. I think that it's all. I think it's all in the conversation, and I'm not here to make anyone wrong, but I'm just having that voice chime in around the Me Too movement. It's really about listening.
So everyone wants to have their opinion, but let's just listen. Let's listen for a minute to the victims, to the people that have truly been in horrific situations. Just let's listen. I still want to hear them. You know, I haven't heard the stories, and I do think that there's a lot more going on, but it is a place to honor and listen. And so where do you feel about that? How can men listen without beginning to already say, but we haven't wanted it this way also? Like, can we just listen? How would a man do that?
Well, I listened to you. I'm going to answer that question, but I want to ask you a question, and that is, you said your girlfriends that are feminists would say this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Can you elaborate on that? So I can answer that first.
Sure, because I believe that they would say that that's not what the movement's about a cultural thing. It's about listening to the women that have been victims.
How is the cultural thing and listening different? Because isn't that we are part of the collective consciousness, we are part of the culture, so listening is part of that. That's why I kind of moved it into it. I think it's kind of semantics here.
I completely agree.
Yeah, so for me, it's a cultural thing.
I just wanted to distinguish that for sure. I agree the same thing.
Okay, so answering about the other question, well, I didn't listen.
It's okay, I'm distracted all the time, man. My car's going out the window, I'm like, car?
I'm playing around. So
Refocus.
it goes like this for men, okay? So first off, I work with a lot of men and hold space for them to be that container. So whether it's a man or a woman operating a masculine, imagine that being the tracks and a feminine being the train, okay? Guidance, they both complement each other. So for a woman who's expressed herself, whether it's been because she's not being heard or she's been violated in some shape or form, it's being able to take her in, holding that space and not even giving your opinion at the moment.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
That's what I mean. I agree. I believe it's all cultural consciousness, and it's all of us. It's all of, we can't point the finger because it's a cultural thing, but I do believe that it's holding that space and just listening for a minute and breathing in that, as you said, the breath.
Yeah, and when would you say, Dr. Ray, I'm guessing just based on the phenomenal bio that you had online, and just hearing you talk, that one of the things that you've probably, that I feel strongly you do so well, you've done so well, is holding a safe space for the conversation,
for sure.
Whether it's in public or whether it's in your own office with individuals. So can you talk to us a little bit about, the ways in which men like myself can have the conversation with women, whether it's a one-on-one basis or in a sort of with a wider audience, so that it moves in a direction that's productive and positive and uplifting and inspiring. Is there any recommendations or tips you might have for men out there?
Absolutely. So first, it's watching what we just shared just now. And so it's probably what your woman has been asking you all along. It's kind of the same thing. And I did mention in another interview where it's as if instead of imagine it being just your woman, imagine you're listening to all. And in that space, it's being able to be aware of your own emotions, your own feelings to that. Because if you're having a trigger as a man, it's not her. There's nothing outside of you doing that. She can say whatever. She can even yell at you. She can even tell you to F off. She's upset in that moment because it's just her real expression. But more than anything else, she wants to feel good. Women typically want to feel good. So this movement, in a way, if you look at the feminine, it being water, it needs to go where it needs to go, and it will reach the ocean. It'll reach where it needs to go for healing. And you as a man, if you cannot be so rigid in your body, in your opinions about it, and just remember it's just raw expressions. It's not about you. And if you are triggered, do your work. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you when she's sharing. Now, unless you are the perpetrator, that's a little bit different. But we're talking about just in general when you're holding that space. And if you're listening to a woman who has been victimized, listen to her. You don't know what it is to be like that, to feel like that, to really be in your body.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's profound.
Yeah.
And just asking more questions.
Absolutely.
Instead of going, oh, and I agree, let me tell you how I think about it. Like, tell me more. How was that? What did that feel like? What would you want to say to that person? Just beginning to pull out and have that person fully expressed is so beautiful. And we all need to learn that, whether it be Me Too or any movement. Like, we need to be able to listen.
Well, I think it's a great recommendation too. I would imagine just for relationships, because I know that from a very young age, I always was used to sort of like trying to think my way through problems and fix things. And I remember the first couple relationships I got in, she'd be sharing something, and it was maybe something bad that happened. I'm like, oh, well, tell me where he's at. I'm gonna go have a conversation with him. I want to go fix this. My whole life I wanted to be a fixer and help people. And later I learned that was probably not the best thing to do. That I needed to understand what first of all, what she most wanted in the moment, what she most needed, which was me to listen and to just feel empathy, really, right?
Absolutely.
And then she could probably tell me a lot better than I could ever come, you know, sort of what I should do, a lot better than what I could figure out on my own. So in terms of that, you know, in terms of just taking action then, is there anything that you feel, you know, once a person is listening, is there anything that you would recommend in terms of the action piece? Is it just continuing the conversation?
Just continue conversation, and I want to add to what you just said about that. It reminded me of something where I had a female friend say that she felt like taken advantage by two people, and we were going to U-Haul. I was helping her move, and I said, I want my friend to take you, I'm going to go talk to that person, and she felt I disconnected from her. Here, I thought I was being a hero. You know, I'm going to be, you know, Han Solo, and I'm going to do what I need to
fix
do.
it.
And she actually was more hurt. I disconnected. So it's not about that action. Like, listen to this, really important, is that we talk about the action. It's, if anything men could do, is being with her, being in that space, to hold that space. And it's just like grabbing a cork and holding it underwater. If you let go, it pops up, and everything's illuminated. It's just being.
So beautiful.
Well, thank you for being with us
Thank
today.
you. And I just want to say thank you
your
for
insight.
a little debate around it, because it's important to like make those distinguishes. And I totally agree that we are one. It is a cultural thing, and you've said it so well. If there's someone who wants to, you know, a man, woman out there that wants to learn how to hold space, to truly listen, and to truly break through some of this relationship stuff, because whether it be with somebody who's gone through Me Too, or whether it be your intimate relationship or relationship with chocolate, you know, whatever it is, what is it? How would they find you?
Website is www.raydoktor, and that's my real last name.
How many jokes you get about that?
Doctor. We always talk about that names have your calling in it, so you're truly a doctor, really helping people heal.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. You guys,
Thank
we're
you.
going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about all things dating. Stay tuned. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited to announce
that Good Morning La La Land is now being featured on Connect TV.
That's right. You can check it out on Apple TV, Roku, iOS, and Android, as well as on the web.
Check us out. We're going to be everywhere, literally.
We are going to believe, connect, and change the world. It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We have our go-to girl for the balance of strength and femininity, Ms. Katie Clark. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Welcome to the show.
It's all hashtag Friday Feels, and you have mastered it as a dating guy. What's
yes,
the secret?
yes and no.
What is the secret?
The secret is enjoy your dating life.
Oh.
Like why are we
Say it again. Can you say it again?
just have fun?
Can you just say it
Can we just have
again?
fun meeting people? You know, it's really about that. You're not gonna marry everybody you date. So just enjoy who you date and don't burn bridges. I stay friends with everybody. There's truly almost maybe 5 guys in 7 years that I probably wouldn't talk to, but I stay friends with everybody and I connect.
How do you do that? How do you stay friends and not burn bridges with these people, whether it's after a date or
Great
two
question.
or a relationship?
So kind of like what we were talking about, I call it dating like an adult. All right, so we communicate how things are going in this relationship.
That's such a concept.
Right? Like, let's grow up here and date well and date honestly and date communicatively. And one of the things I encourage my clients to do is the 3-3-3 rule. So give somebody 3 dates. You know, oftentimes men and women are nervous on a date, or maybe they were rushed that time. It just didn't go well. But if there's some sort of chemistry, and men and women look at chemistry very different, and I think in very different orders of importance, give them 3 dates, and then evaluate. Like, is this somebody I want to keep spending time with, go deeper with? And then I encourage that on 3 weeks and 3 months. Like, let's just be fair and honest with our time, somebody else's time. I'm in a, you know, I work for a company that works with older people. So some of us are young and free. You know, I consider it like this. Dating when you're young is like 2 entrepreneurs coming together. Okay, there's this like ideology and you're creating something together, and then you get divorced. And then it's my turn. So I'm the divorced mom. And it's like 2 companies coming together. It's a merger now. It's a whole different, it's a whole
That's a
different
really
process.
interesting way of looking at it.
So I have to make sure that company A and company B are going to work. You know, it doesn't mean you don't like company A. It just means maybe that it didn't, the reality didn't work out. Sometimes traffic in LA. Do I really want to date someone and sit in traffic?
Right. Sometimes
That's
you want to be a
reality.
freelancer, you know what I'm saying? Just kidding.
Independent contractor. You know, hey, just communicate that. As long as I think you communicate that, I think it's fair, right? Just tell people your expectations and what you're looking at and what you're looking for.
What is that? I mean, I think that once people put titles, boyfriend, girlfriend, title of whatever, people change, you know? And what's so funny, because like, why don't we just communicate? Like, do we necessarily have this expectation that is going in this direction? Well, I don't know why everyone's so afraid to just get real.
It's that whole Facebook status thing, you know, like, it's complicated.
Oh my God.
It's so funny that in 7 years I've never been anything. You know, I've kept that clear for a reason, because it's, 1, it's none of your business. But 2, it's like it doesn't need to be what anybody else thinks or Facebook thinks it needs to be. So for me, it's just about, you know, I'm getting to know somebody, I'm seeing somebody, I'm having fun with somebody. I think it can be different for different relationships, and they all bring
But what
something.
if you're on a different page than the other person?
Then communicate that. This is what you say. Say, hey, look, I'm really enjoying our time together. I'd like to know how you feel about the future.
See, this is the beautiful thing about you, in addition to countless other things, is that you're not just about communication, you're about communication in a very specific, very positive, sort of appreciative, appreciation-focused way.
I would say so.
I think that's what feels different to me, because I think a lot of folks are intent on saying what they feel and expressing their expectations and all that, and the whole 9, but they say it in such a way that people have knee-jerk reactions and they don't hear the whole thing.
Right. I think deep down you need to have the confidence to know that the right thing will come at the right time. So if you can speak that, I can speak to somebody and say, hey, is this working out for you? I'm just curious. Because if you say no, you know what I say? Good, I want you happy and I want to be happy.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with that, because deep down I know the right thing at the right time will come. And it's just, that's really all it is.
But you have a great way of diffusing that. For some people, like, we need to have the talk.
Right.
And figure out, like, what that's never going to work.
Freak
not
out and
gonna
run
be
away
good,
as soon
right?
as I get that text.
Like, that's
the
an
text,
art.
though, that's the problem too. It's the text.
Yeah,
like,
we
what
need to
happened
talk.
to this? What happened to the phone? What happened? Hey, let's grab a coffee.
So that's
what
an
are you
art.
thinking?
To take a client through that, to be like, let's keep it light, keep it up front, talk about it before it becomes a pink elephant in the room, and like, how do you do that?
Well, so I do 2 things at our company. So at Sync Matchmaking, we have matchmakers, and then I'm also the dating coach. And I think with that, I get the beauty of having to juggle 2 fields, like putting people together, and I'm not a relationship expert by any means, but I know how to get people dates, how to help them have a fun date, and how to help them have a second date. And that's all, again, just through smart communication, timing, momentum. I think that's another thing that's lacking nowadays, is there's so many opportunities and everything is disposable and swipeable, that momentum ends so fast that, again, you don't even got to the first date.
No, I'll literally get a text message from a guy that I met like 2 weeks before, and I'm like, so I don't even remember who you are right now, and you want to say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, 2 weeks later?
And this is my theory on this. Women should be looking for 4 things, no matter what age we are or in what dating phase. The first thing we women should be looking for is his effort. Because if he's not giving it now, I hate to think, is he really going to give it later? And, you know, we all have, I'm assuming you too, I mean, we all have choices. These guys are coming at us from all different apps and supposedly organically, but I want to see the guy who puts in that special effort. But now for men, I think the #1 thing men look for is chemistry, right away. What would you think?
well, chemistry, of course.
Right.
I look for happiness.
Happiness.
I want someone that's as happy or happier than me, period.
Right. Love it.
Because I know that the least happy person is going to bring down the relationship. And I know that from personal experience.
And then what do you think makes a woman happy?
What makes her happy?
Yeah, when you meet
somebody. I
somebody.
let her tell me.
Okay.
I don't know, and I don't expect, and I don't for a second think that I would or do know. Let her tell me that. Yes, I don't know. I do know that I love, and my intention is to make me happy and to stay happy, and I would hope that that also makes her happy. But I love her being happy. So for freedom, for me, is happy. But I also know that security and stability is happiness for lots of people.
Yeah, like effort almost is. I think it's very subjective, because if someone's making an effort because they're looking for me to complete them, that is like, I don't want them to make a lot of effort. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, what is somebody really up to? And do they love their passion and their mission and what they're up to? Because I know that that's what's sustainable.
Right.
I know the kind of effort I want. Actually, like, call, make your intentions known.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, not just like this, like, hey babe, hey love, like at 10:30 at night. Like, no,
My dad calls
like,
that trolling.
Yes, I want to be pursued. I don't want to be the pursuer.
Right.
I'm very old-fashioned in that. I want a man to make his intentions known to me.
And that's where the momentum starts. And I think the whole idea behind that is be the man with a plan. Okay, so I wrote a little book on that, be the man with a plan, and what does that look like? So for example, make a date. So by Wednesday, you should have asked her out for the weekend. I had a guy I was chatting with last weekend on a text. We had text banter, which is really important to me. And he never asked me out, so yesterday I sent him a text. I said, shame on you. What a bummer, we had such great text banter. I was hoping you'd ask me out for this weekend. He said, well, I'm so busy, following their passion and work. I get that. But are you so busy that you couldn't say, hey, what are you doing next week? And I'd love to see you.
But why didn't you ask him out?
I'm old school again.
Yeah.
This is what I believe, old school style with old school standards with new school style.
Ooh,
and
yes.
It's that idea of I want to be pursued, and that's his effort. That just teaches me now, is he going to remember my birthday? Is he going to send me flowers? It's just kind of as a preface to the kind of man he is. And I'm just old school that way. There's nothing wrong with giving him an invitation to ask you out. Like, hey, this weekend I probably have a couple free days. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, men don't read minds, am I correct?
I definitely don't read minds.
And I think
At least if I did, I wouldn't tell you anyway. That's part of the having that gift.
I think it's important that we women kind of open those doors so that they can really push them forward.
Right.
We don't need to play games, and we don't need to, cross signals, but we can be like, hey, I'm free this weekend. What are you thinking? But again, I'd like to see men more often approach. So here's my big question: what about this organic thing, meeting people organically?
I love it.
How do you do it?
I prefer it. I meet them everywhere.
Okay.
I meet people in the bookstore. I meet people on the street corner. I mean, literally, I meet people everywhere. And the hard thing for me is to hide from people.
Okay.
I try, honest to God. And I don't say that from a place of like arrogance or anything like that. It's just that I genuinely like people, and I genuinely like myself, and I like connecting, and I'm interested in people. So I meet them everywhere, and I'm sometimes shocked that people don't. But I remember a period where I didn't meet people no matter how hard I tried. So I love it. I love the idea of it, and I feel that when you can practice or get good at meeting people organically, it's so much easier to maintain and sustain a healthy relationship.
Right.
Because you've got social skills that you've cultivated over that time.
Right.
But I don't know. I know the experience is different for everyone.
Yeah.
So what would you?
And everybody wants to meet somebody organic, but I think, unlike you, most people have a really hard time meeting people. So a lot of people are swiping. I mean, I was just at Stagecoach. 2 guys came up to me. One was married, one was 20 and drunk. Otherwise, nobody came up to me. But yet I went on Bumble, and sure enough, met guys through Bumble while at Stagecoach, which is kind of sad. I'd love for people to meet more organically and have that confidence to go say hello. But I think our opportunity as matchmakers is to make that a little bit more easy as well. I always tell people we're kind of like the realtors, the realtors of matchmaking. So if you needed to go find a house, what would you do? You'd call a realtor, right? Would you drive around all weekend and look through the newspaper and circle houses and check it out? No, you find somebody who knows the area, who knows what you're looking for, and can vet it out for you.
Right. But I think the genius of you is not just matchmaking, but that coaching factor.
Right.
Because I think that whether you're doing it organically, whether you're swiping, whether you're getting a matchmaker, it comes down to what is really going on. And I think it takes a coach sometimes to take a look, a neutral look at it and say, what are you doing with your clothing? What's going on? How are you approaching people? How are you having these conversations and whatever? And so I think that that's a great service that you have, because I think that if someone's having a hard time out there,
in the dating world, let's face it, it comes down to their consciousness, and then it comes down to all those things of how are people experiencing you. So that's so cool. So if I'm somebody and I come to you and I go, okay, I want coaching, what does that look like for you? What do you do with clients?
So I usually do a 4-week process, and they have to be dating at the time. They have to be, you know, they don't have to be starting yet, but we start their profile. I go through with them. We take some new pictures. We make sure that they're dressed to the nines. I always say curb appeal matters. The house is back on the market. It's going to get more interest, right? Paint it in and put some flowers.
It's not a foreclosure anymore. We're going straight to
stage it. Yeah, I have to buy the stuff. But.
So with that, it's the 4-week process of, okay, now we've got you online, or I've got some people to introduce you to, and then let's talk about the pre-dates, what you're going to talk about, what's yays and nays, what you're going to wear. Post a date, what are you going to do? How fast do you text somebody? It's all the details that matter. Right. You know, it's that momentum and keeping it alive without being too much and too little.
It is. It's a. You want to keep it just enough to where it's like there's a value here, there's mystery, but not too much. Yeah, it's a real art.
It is an art.
It is, and you're absolutely right. That's what makes your services and what you do so invaluable and so priceless, because it's so hard to know when you're in the midst of it what you might not be doing right or what you might be doing wrong. Like, you don't know. You're so close to it. Maybe you've been doing it forever, and you've got this blind spot that only someone like yourself would be able to identify.
Right, for sure. So how can people find you?
So, well, I'm Katie Clark, and you can find me at thekatieclark.com. I've got a couple books on there, how to be the best first date he's ever had.
Okay.
And some fashion books on there as well, right?
You're clearly from California, the Katie Clark.
You know what, because all the other Katie Clarks were taken.
There's a lot of Katie Clarks now. Not you. Not anything like you, but yeah.
Underscore, but anyways. And then also our matchmaking company is cinque.com. That's Sync Matchmaking. We have a fabulous website. We've got videos online on YouTube, so check it all out.
I accept the challenge.
Oh, no. Jess accepts every challenge.
The best first date ever.
Amen.
Amen.
Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with some chocolate. So excited.
Dr. Drew here, and I am on the HEAL Advisory Board. I got involved with this organization because it's the answer to our healthcare problem. Listen to me. You go to urgent care, you go to emergency room, you're paying for all that equipment, all that infrastructure, you're wasting time, you're exposing yourself to sick people. All you got to do is go to heal.com or get the HEAL app at heal.com. Get that HEAL app, and you can have a doctor wherever you are. It's $99 if you don't have insurance, though most insurances cover it. It's the most effective way to get the care you're looking for and the most cost efficient. $99 all in. That's it. And you get a board-certified physician to show up wherever you are, your home, your work, whatever it is, 8A to 8P, 7 days a week, including holidays. And that board-certified individual, that licensed professional, is going to just be paying attention to you and focusing on you and using his or her judgment to take care of your needs in that moment. Go to HEAL. Check it out. You'll see what I'm saying.
I'm Michael Wormuth. I'm a board-certified pediatrician working for HEAL.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rashonda Clemens. I'm a board-certified pediatrician.
Hi, my name is Dr. Megna Motiani, and I practice internal medicine. Hi, my name is Dr. Talia Katibi. I'm a board-certified pediatrics.
Hi, my name is Dr. Wong. I'm a board-certified family practitioner.
I joined HEAL because as a mother, I value the importance of practicality. I joined HEAL to bring patient care back to you, our patients.
I joined HEAL to provide medical care on a different platform and to even the playing field for those who feel they don't have access.
I joined HEAL was because I found out about the organization and thought it would be ideal to be able to practice medicine the way I was trained to practice medicine.
Patients love it. I get to spend more time with them, and that makes all the difference.
HEAL offers comprehensive, compassionate medical care in the convenience of the family home, and patients seem so grateful to have us there.
From Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. The morning just got even more delicious. We have the founder of Top This Chocolates, Mrs. Sheena Ellis. Thank you so much for being here and treating us to these treats, right?
Oh my gosh.
Look at
Absolutely.
That's the way you start a Friday.
that is the way you start a Friday. So, interestingly enough, you were a litigator. You had the 9 to 5, quit the job, and said, I'm going to go full-time chocolate?
I did. Yes, I didn't like being a litigator. It's a very familiar story. We all know lawyers who are miserable, and I finally said, I've had enough. I'm going in my own direction. I'm over it. I'm starting a business. I don't care. I'll throw my life into chaos, which is exactly what happened.
Yes to the sweet life.
Yeah, well, from cravings to chaos to this fast-growing company. Really, I mean, you really turned a passion and a love for something into a great business. What's been the most rewarding thing for you?
The most rewarding thing is having people actually buy your products once they've heard about you. I had one Christmas season, I was mentioned in Red Book magazine. One tiny, teeny, tiny little mention, I was slide 70 out of 100 for holiday gifts, and my website just exploded overnight.
Wow. Yes!
I had orders coming in. I had to train and hire 7 people in 48 hours, and I spent all of December until 3 a.m. every night.
In your
getting
kitchen?
chocolate in my kitchen.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Unreal.
Yes.
I love this so much as a gift because I, as everyone knows around here, I always think that it's like most of us have everything that we really need. And who doesn't love something like you would never go buy this for yourself? You know, it's such a beautiful gift.
Especially for Mother's Day coming up next weekend. If you forgot about it, this is your friendly reminder.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing for Mother's Day.
So for Mother's Day, okay, so all products are fully customizable. There are over 40 topping choices: nuts, dried fruit, candy, cookies, salty snacks.
Yes.
Something for everybody. I put names on chocolate bars in chocolate letters.
Love that. Cool. This is so cute, right? If you can see that, you've got Hannah, we've got George.
And then I have plaques. This one says Happy Mother's Day, so that's perfect for Mother's Day. You can say Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
And that's actually in chocolate?
That is a dark chocolate plaque,
Ooh.
yes.
And then if you have a Hannah and you eat a little, then you can give to Anna. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm going to go ahead and try a piece of this chocolate. Right. Are these all your creations? And
all.
Do people get to customize their own or just choose from your menu?
No, you can customize on my website. You build your bar, or you build squares or hearts, and these are chocolate covered Oreos.
Oh, so what's your favorite?
So my favorite, I love the salty snacks. I love the potato chips and the pretzels and the sea salt and the goldfish.
I mean, talk about dating, love, and relationships. This could be a way to anybody's heart, man or a woman. If you want to send me chocolates, you're already top of the list, right?
Yes, with your name on it, because it shows that effort.
Oh, that's some serious effort.
Yeah,
That's serious
and
effort.
spell it right, because it's a very unique name. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and go for this one. I like the bitter the better. A little bit of salt in there, some almonds.
I don't know.
Tell us about this chocolate, because I know it's certified
Fair
trade, right?
Yes, it's 100% pure cocoa butter, no vegetable oil, no partially hydrogenated anything. It's premium quality chocolate. We call it couverture in the chocolate world.
Couverture.
Yes.
Ooh,
it's so
sexy.
And yes. And then of course you can choose your toppings. I conceived of this idea because I was just bored. I ate one little chocolate square. There's so many almonds. There's really 5 flavors out there, but what if you want pistachios? What if you want cranberries? What if you're sick of the same chocolate every night? So
I have peanut butter chips and banana chips on the white chocolate.
The
and
Elvis.
I tell you, it's good. It's the Elvis.
It's peanut butter banana. That was Elvis's favorite flavor.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Right? And where can we get these? Can we have them sent to somebody instead of having to get them and then give them to someone?
Yes, absolutely. So on my website, which is topthischocolate.com, I didn't say topless chocolate. I said
It's a really great business idea.
Yes, and we ship all over the country. We custom make your order, or you can, if you don't want to customize, you can just choose a variety pack, of course, because not everyone wants to go through the process. It's a lot of fun. We have a ton of fun in the chocolate factory, doing everyone's names and messages. And
Where's the factory?
In Culver City, right here in Los
cool.
Angeles. Yes, right here.
Oh my gosh, you're giving me. I'm having a flashback to like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. As a kid, I was obsessed with it, and I feel like you're the female version. You're going to the Chocolate Factory. I want to come visit.
Yes.
Win the golden ticket.
Spreading love through chocolate. Well,
Right.
thank you so much for being with us today, sharing this Top This Chocolate. We'll be right back with more. Stay tuned on Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We've been having a great conversation today with some of my friends and experts and entrepreneurs. I have a question. You know, on the show we talk a lot about relationships and love on Fridays, but we also talk a lot about starting successful businesses, which you all have. So any recommendations or tips for folks that might want to start a business? Maybe they're an entrepreneur or they want to be an entrepreneur. What have you learned?
Well, I've started several. I actually had a restaurant in China. That was my first one.
Whoa.
And I think it's see the need, meet the need.
Yeah.
You know, we lived in China, and the foreign community had nowhere fabulous to go with authentic food, so I started it. You know, and if you feed them, they will come. But you create this, word gets out, and do it right and do it well.
Seed the need, feed the need. All right. So you can have some topless.
Everybody needs
topless chocolate. What are you having today? Shana, tell her what this piece is.
That's caramel, honey roasted peanuts, and sea salt.
Oh, this is like a good little size too. I feel like
Bon
it's like
appetit, Dr. Ray. Help yourself. Have a little chocolate. Let's get honest. What would you say for somebody starting their own business, Dr. Ray?
So I think it's very important to get clear with your why, and because your why will be aligned with who you are regardless of how the business shifts. So in other words, sometimes it's challenging, but if you're connected to your why, that excitement will continue to lead you to what you need to do next, because even what I do now is much differently than what I did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and 20 years ago. It's being flexible in that, but having some strong why because the thing is, the money and how people respond to you and anything else should not deter you from your path or determine your success. It's something within that exists already right now.
Love. Shana.
I would say it really takes a lot of perseverance, because it's going to be harder than it sounds, and it's going to take longer than you think it'll take. I thought my business would just go like that. Instead, it's been like that. And I'm grateful that I'm still in it, but again, you just can't predict what's going to happen and how much work it's going to take.
As our producer says, expect the unexpected. For sure.
So
And I thought successful people just tripped over success. I thought it just happened overnight. No?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Right, so true. So it's Friday. It's gorgeous out in Los Angeles. What are you guys doing for the rest of the day?
I'm going to the Yeah Yeah Yeahs LCD Sound System concert tonight at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh,
that is going to be so cool.
Nice.
Cool.
The perks of being a successful entrepreneur.
I'm actually going to go for a hike.
Cool.
Yeah, by the beach.
Awesome.
Well, I'm going to do what I love. I'm going on a date. And, and then I'm driving back through traffic to get to my kids' big track meet.
You don't just talk the talk, you walk the talk
Actually,
too,
then
huh?
I'm going back to LA for a big girl's birthday party. So hey,
Yeah, I'll be out. I'll be downtown. I'll be coming home late night and eating top this chocolate. Thank you, Shana. It's been a pleasure to have this conversation with you. Happy Friday, everyone. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, and now on Connect TV as seen on Apple TV and Roku.
We are waking up the world together. Have a great day, you guys.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
So nice.